My name is Damien G. I'm the founder and president of the Bicycle Club Ypsilanti Wolfpack Cruisers. We've been around since 2018. I was born and raised in Belleville, so Belleville and Ypsi has always been my home. I got a real strong background when it comes to my family. I was raised by my mother, who was not single mother. My dad passed away when I was 6 months old. She pretty much taught me the ins and outs of life from birth till 99.
Okay.
My mom passed away in 99 of congestive heart failure. I went to Lincoln schools. I finished my high schooling and stuff in Adrian due to the fact of my mom passing because I stayed with my brother. And he helped me get through high school and stuff like that and my first job and all that. Then I moved back to Ypsi.
Okay.
And I moved in with my brother Andre. Lived in Ypsi ever since. Normal Ypsilanti citizen, Ended up getting married, ended up having my first daughter.
All right.
Had the struggles in life and ended up having my divorce.
Okay.
And everything. Now I'm remarried.
Okay.
Wonderful wife.
All right.
Believe it or not, internet dating is it happens.
It works.
And it was love in first picture, I guess you could say. But my wife is from Las Vegas. Well, she was born in California.
All right.
When I met her on Facebook, her and her family lived in Las Vegas.
All right.
Her family's still in Las Vegas. We talked for about a good year or two, video chat, and I flew her out for my birthday, and she never went back.
Nice.
So
How long have you guys been together now?
We've been together since 2013.
Outstanding.
We've been married for 3 years now.
Okay.
So
Have the two of you had kids?
yes, we actually share a 6-year-old daughter, Mackenzie Lynn Guyton, and we got a 1-year-old, Isaiah.
All right.
So
All right. You've got some young child energy in your life.
exactly, and altogether I got 4 biological kids.
All right.
I got my oldest, McKenna Guyton. I got my second oldest, which is Deshaun Guyton.
All right.
Then there's Mackenzie, and then there's Isaiah.
Outstanding.
Now, when it comes to stepchildren, I got Jordan, I got Carlita, I got Kaylee.
Okay. Are they with you?
Jordan and Kaylee finally got their own place. They moved out. They're older now.
Okay.
Carlita lives with her biological dad.
I gotcha.
And my firstborn lives with her mother here in Ypsi, actually. And the other 2 is with me.
All right.
So
All right. You got your hands full.
I always got my hands full in everything I do.
Damien, I can tell, and just from that little bit of your story, you've been through some stuff, right? You've had some challenges in your life.
Majorly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I suspect you're just scratching the surface there.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share with us about things that you've encountered along the way that have made you into the man you are?
I encountered actually quite a bit. I'm just like everybody else. We had our dark times, we had our bad times, our rough times, our sad and everything. When my mom passed away, I pretty much lost myself.
All right.
I lost my identity. I pretty much didn't know who I was because my mom was my rock, my everything. It took me a long time to actually find myself. But I had some help along the way of finding myself with my biological family and the family that I have now.
Mhm.
I'm still even finding myself.
Yeah. That'll go on for the rest of your life,
Exactly.
man. Yeah.
You know, and I stay active. You know, I inherited a lot of things from learning from other people, and then I take it and elevate it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's how I ended up in the bike scene.
Mm.
Because before the bike scene, it was just me, my family, my kids, spending time. We loved to party. We loved to do barbecues and stuff like that, and you know, just hang out and enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like everybody, we have our struggles with rent, bills, stuff like that. But you also need that back door to escape and kind of mellow out, and then things kind of falls together like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So, as your average Ypsilanti citizen, you know, I was pretty much doing everything that I could do to keep myself active. You know, play with friends and stuff, be with my friends, hang out, drink, whatever the case may be. Now, my wife's brother, he's part of a bicycle club out in Las Vegas.
All right.
His bicycle club is called Hammer and Cycle,
Okay.
Las Vegas. We got a chapter in California.
Mm-hmm.
So one year, I couldn't go to make the trip to Las Vegas, but my wife did because she had to, visit her family. Her brothers took her to this event called OBC, which it stands for One Big Club.
Okay.
But it's all these thousands of bike clubs.
Oh, man.
Bicycles, not motorcycles.
Right.
Bicycles.
Right.
And they're custom out all different ways. Bikes that you don't see in the store. You know, these guys, they have their own welding shops, their own in their garage and everything, and backyards or whatever the case may be. They draw them out, they bend the metal,
Yeah.
they make these creations that you have never seen. But that was out there in Las Vegas.
Yep.
So I was looking at the pictures and I was like, cool, I wish there was something I can get into. I wish they had it out here.
So at the time you met her, you weren't in a bicycle club.
I wasn't in the bicycle
This
club.
was your kind of entry into it.
Yeah. I was like, I wish they had something like this out here.
Damien, take me back a little bit. Tell me about bicycle clubs, man. People that don't know what a bicycle club, they have no idea what you do.
It's fun.
Yeah?
It's fun. Well, every clubs are different.
Uh-huh.
You got your clubs that's all about being flashy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are about being noticed. Some of them, the best bike, the best club, best bike, the best club that they could be. But they all very friendly. There's no drama. There's no your club is better than my club, and it's not a game.
Okay.
But when I met these guys, before I go into that, let me get into how I became involved in it.
Okay.
So I told you my brother-in-law, Hammer and Cycle Bicycle Club. I wished I could get into it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they had something like this out here. At the time, I was working as a janitor at Lincoln Consolidated Schools,
All right.
junior high, middle school. Me and my wife. My wife contacted me talking about my brother just hooked us up with somebody. I know what she's talking about. She's like, you said you wanted to do a bike club, right? Yeah, I wish there was something like that out here. She was like, well, let me tell you something. There is. And he introduced us to I just made a meeting to meet with the founder at our house.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, so cool. So days went by. Now it's time to meet the founder. The founder from Truth Riders came out. Him and his road captain Dash came out, met the family,
Mm-hmm.
and we met him. And like I said, he showed us pictures of his bike and everything, and it was a sweet, orange, custom out bike. It looked like a motorcycle, but it's a bicycle.
All right.
He said that there was like over 50 clubs in the Detroit area.
50
alone.
clubs.
50 in the Detroit club alone. And once you get into it, you get to learn how big the bike scene is, pedal bike scene really is.
All right.
So he told me I can either make my own, or I can try to join theirs
Mm-hmm.
and become a president in a chapter. Well, I didn't know anything about building a club, so let me see what be a president of an Ipsy chapter and branch off of you. Maybe you can help mold me into this.
Sure. Now, where were they based, Damien?
Detroit.
Detroit Club.
Okay. So he introduced me. Me and my wife Nicole. We went to the first Bike Life event. Once we got there, our minds were like blown. It was pretty much the same stuff that I've seen on pictures that Nick had at OBC here in Detroit.
Right here, close to home.
So I thought I was like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I'm learning. I was like, okay, maybe it's just a bunch of people a bunch of friends wearing these patches and riding together. It's much more than that. It's unified. They do stuff for the community. We, at the time, they were helping. It was cold outside, and they rented a building, and they did backpack for the homeless.
Okay.
Like, some food, blankets, coats, and stuff like that. And we passed it out to the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in. Now this is me learning how to get in with the community. Well, long story short, when it came to Truth Riders and other bicycle clubs, it was not what I thought it would be when it came to the club I was in.
Okay.
So it was just too many how can I say it? Pretty much it was like things was told to us that was not coming to light
Okay.
like it was supposed to be.
Like the audio and video didn't match, huh?
Exactly. When it came to the club I was in.
All right.
So I'm seeing it in all the other clubs, but I wasn't seeing it in the club I was in.
Okay.
So the people that I brought into it and was under my wing was seeing the same thing. So as taking the role of stepping back, everybody went with me and stepped back. Back in 2018, beginning fall of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And we started the Wolf Pack because I actually got the idea from another bicycle club. Every time our club come out, when we were Truth Riders, every time our guys come out, Ypsilanti come in the pack. But where's Detroit? Where's your Detroit chapter? Where's your founder? He told us we had to be here.
Mm-hmm.
We here.
But he's not.
He's not, and neither is Detroit chapter. So pretty much, Ypsilanti was doing pretty much all the work, and the founder was getting all the glory for it.
Sure. Sure.
So, if that was the case, it's like, might as well just step back and do our own thing.
Right.
You know. So we went. I sat in my bedroom and I thought of names. The Cobra Riders, the Ipsy Riders and stuff like that. But when that thing, they stuck out to me from the president, and I thank Rhonda for this, from Hotspot Rollers. The president there said, every time you come to an event, y'all guys come in a pack. So I'm like, Wolfpack. Why not Wolfpack? So I talked it over with my wife. My wife liked the idea. Now we needed an image.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a drawing. I drew out a wolf of all different kinds.
Sure.
And drew out a tribal wolf.
Mm-hmm.
That stuck with me. So I drew a tribal wolf, the border, wolf pack, Ypsilanti, everything. Then I went to a patch place. I sent that drawing I did it on the computer, and I sent it to him and asked him, "Can you do this?" He said yes.
Okay.
He gave me the first prototype patch. And then it took off from there. That's when we announced to the Detroit scene that Ipsy Truth Riders is shut down for good.
Yep.
Now we are the Ypsilanti Wolfpack Cruisers.
All right.
And, people, what happened? Why y'all guys do your own thing? What happened with Truth Riders? It's not really nobody's, business, because that's how problems start.
Mm-hmm.
So
now you've got your own club.
So I got my own club.
All right.
And now with that image, I took what Truth Riders told us that they were supposed to be about, and I actually did it with the Wolfpack.
It's not just words, it's
actions. Not just words, it's actions. So we been in parades, the Ipsy 4th of July parades.
Mm-hmm.
We've been in all kinds of shows. But the one thing that meant the most to me that we've done was helped out a community through a tragic incident.
What happened, man?
I don't know if you are familiar. It was on the news a couple of years ago. Are you familiar with the Gabrielle Renee Barrett story?
No. Tell me that story.
It was on the news. The little 4-year-old girl who was murdered by her own mother and mother's boyfriend.
Oh, shit.
And fled state and got caught in another state. And was brought back to sentencing.
All right.
Well, it happened actually in Belleville at a manufacturer and home place, Rosenville Woods. And Rosenville Woods heard about what we were who we are and what we do, and they reached out to us. They wanted to heal a community by doing a bike-a-thon.
All right.
So they contacted us. We helped them out. We didn't want no money. We didn't want nothing free. Anything that we do, we don't want no money for.
Right.
we come together with the community. The community was a nice community. It was so lovely and nice and welcoming. Me and my family actually moved to that community.
Nice.
We had Fix a Bike Thursdays. We'll come fix up all these bikes for the kids and everything, all the way up to the event of the bike-a-thon.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 clubs come out to help support that day. The Detroit Lane Bangers and Detroit D-Town Riders.
All right.
What we did is we had police escorts. We met at an old school, and we at the front of their park that they lived in, Rosedale Woods. They had the whole gathering, a bunch of kids and their bikes waiting for us in the park.
Yeah.
We have a vehicle that had our logo on the sides. So the police escorted us on a busy road, Rosenville Road, from the old school all the way to the park. When we got to the park, before we entered, you can hear the kids, "Let's go bikers, let's go. Let's go bikers, let's go."
Nice.
And then they saw the car block the traffic that was about to come. And then they saw the police block the other part so the other cars won't come. And then they saw all these bikes come.
Mm-hmm.
All these different kind of customized bikes come, music. And then we did a ride in the park with the kids, the bikes that they fixed up.
Yep.
Throughout the park, we had like a little obstacle course.
Yeah.
Water stations, tables, and everything. Then they planted a tree for this little girl,
Mm-hmm.
and our secretary made a scarf that was ladybugs because the little girl loved ladybugs.
Okay.
And they had a barbecue, bounce house, everything,
man.
and we actually had the grandparents of the little girl there,
Mm-hmm.
and the father,
Mm-hmm.
the biological
The real father, yeah.
Yep. And we presented him the stuff to him,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
they were so grateful. That's when I fell in love with giving back to the community.
Hell yeah.
Because we didn't have to.
You brought
we
them all
did it.
together. Yeah.
He brought it together.
Mm-hmm.
So from then on out, I've been volunteering our club to do all kinds of things on cleanup, spring cleanups in Ypsilanti, gardening, stuff like that. People
Mhm.
start seeing us and start asking about us. Then we started our own rides.
All right.
We had, at the time, we had one ride, which was a Twilight Tuesday.
Okay.
Twilight Tuesday was an okay ride, but a lot of people had problems making it to a Twilight Tuesday because it was during a work week. So I was like, okay, so what can we do to alternate rides? So one year we kept the Twilight Tuesday, and then we added a Saturday ride,
Mm-hmm.
the Saturday Glow Night Cruise.
Mm.
So we were starting to get more people at the Saturday Night Glow than the Twilight Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tuesday night Twilight. So it's like, you know what? I think we're gonna scrap out the Twilight Tuesday. And we're gonna keep the Saturday Night Glow.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing Saturday Night Glow for 3 seasons. Now, 3 years. And it's become a hit. that people in the neighborhoods now know when we're coming, and they actually sit outside on their porches to wait for us to come with bikes.
Nice.
Because the thing about our bike rides, it's a Wolfpack bike ride, but it's not just only for Wolfpack.
You guys are pulling it together, but
We're bringing it together. We're leading it. Anybody with a bicycle, anybody. We meet up at this time. We roll out at this time.
mm-hmm.
Please make sure to bring your lights for your bikes because we ride till the sun comes down and we ride at night. People come from all over. We had some people from Detroit come. We had some people come from Ohio.
Mm.
And then it got so good, so big, I couldn't believe it. Next thing you know, we're meeting all these other higher people in Ypsilanti. Sarah Ricks was one.
Mm-hmm.
She was a journalist for I forgot the page, but she wanted to interview us. So we had to interview her. She interviewed us at the Whitaker Library.
All right.
So we all came together and we met up with her. So she had a photographer come to one of our Saturday night glows to kick off of the season.
Okay.
Which our kickoff for this year is in 13 weeks. About to be 12 weeks after tomorrow. But she came, they took pictures. And everything. And ever since then, we've been doing that from meet up at 6, roll out at 7 p.m. Then we inherited helping a church on Wednesdays with their youth center.
Okay.
We come in there, we help out the church with the kids and stuff, doing projects, games, whatever the case may be. Things with troublesome kids to keep them from getting in trouble in the streets.
Yeah. Give them something positive.
Something positive. So we did a bike thing for them. We brought all of our bikes in. They were oohing and eyeing. And we had another person from another bicycle club come with his bikes, which were heck of a lot customed. These guys spend money, buco money on their bikes, and we're talking about some people probably who retired at Ford or something like that. We had a bike come in from another club that the frame was not a normal frame. It actually the frame was nothing but letters. Big old G Mob.
Okay.
It said G Mob, which stands for Grown Men on Bikes.
All right.
That's their bike club.
All right.
Then they had another bike. They call it the Supreme Hustle. It was a stretch, long, red electric bike.
All right.
Kids were loving it.
I'll bet.
Then there was my bike that also lit up and everything. They were loving it. And then the fun thing about it is, when we do our Saturday rides and we ride through the neighborhoods, these kids see us in the neighborhood and they work at our church.
Yeah. Because they know you're there. They know you're showing up.
Exactly.
What's the date of your kickoff ride?
Our kickoff ride is a Saturday, I believe, the 24th or the 23rd or the 24th of April.
All right.
So that's the kickoff ride, and it'll go on every Saturday unless weather permits it, or if there's an event going on somewhere else that we show up, because there's a lot of events everywhere. Right now, people are already planning on going to OBC 2021, which take place in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're not going this year because I've been too busy doing things inbound at IPSI and then building other clubs everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I got that. I learned that idea from another club called the East Side Riders. They're the legendary East Side Riders. They've been around for a very long time.
All right.
They got Detroit, they got Ohio, they got Indiana, they got California, they got, I'm
Wow.
like, they everywhere.
Yep.
So, one of my times out in OBC, I met a whole lot of people because OBC, yeah, it's one big club, but it's not just all bicycle clubs. There are also independent riders that come out and ride too.
All right.
And some people will get hooked and want to know how to get into it. I met some people on Facebook who are bike riders. We have our own little bike life page, OBC page, whatever the case may be. We also got a Wolfpack page that people, fan page that people come on. And I asked them, how would you want to start a club out there? They said, yeah. That's how Wolfpack Brazil ended up.
That's
happening.
amazing, man. Where is Wolfpack Brazil located? Where in Brazil?
I can't think of the name. It's a weird name. It's I can't pronounce it.
That's cool.
But
That's amazing that you got that kind of stretch, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I end up going all the way out to Texas. Actually, last year, I went to Texas to build another chapter out in Lampasas, Texas. And I know them people. Actually, I knew them personally. I went to school with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her if she wanted to be a president out there. Her and her family. So they're doing their thing out in Texas. And I got a friend of mine who actually, I just let everybody know in Wolfpack right now that he's about to be the president of the Ann Arbor chapter.
Oh, man.
So this year we're pretty much going to be built in Ann Arbor and probably going to do a lot of rides in Ann Arbor.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
So we're expanding and we're doing stuff that's good, and the best thing is we're getting recognized for it.
Yes, you are. Case in point.
Exactly. See, motorcycle clubs gets a bad rep. They do get a bad rep. When you see they made movies like Sons of Anarchies and stuff like that, and they have a bad rep. So when you see a patch, they automatically think they're a gang. They're a gang. No. Bicycles are different than motorcycles. There's your motorcycles that have their so-called brotherhood, and there's your bicycle clubs that's got our brotherhood, brother sisterhood. The only thing that stand out from Wolfpack out of any clubs, whether it's a motorcycle club or a bicycle club, what stands out, we're the only club that has a cub children fraction of the Wolfpack.
Oh, that's fun.
So our kids and our members' kids have vests, have a patch that looks just like ours.
Yeah.
But instead of a tribal wolf, they actually got a cub
Oh, that's cool.
on there, and it says Wolfpack Cubs.
Love it.
So we're the only ones that stand out. We're the only club that actually got a wolf mascot. Someone in a mascot in a costume, wolf. And we honored that. We honored the little girl that we did the thing for, and we named our mascot Gabby the Wolf.
That's cool. in her honor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So every time we have an event, when there's kids, Gabby's out there.
That's so good for the kids, man.
I'm
So
shaking
good for
them
the
and
kids,
hugging
yeah.
them, getting pictures with the kids and stuff like that. Our club came together, brought some money together, and we ended up getting a Santa Claus and a Mrs. Claus. We rented a Santa Claus and a Mrs. Claus for the kids of the community that we did for the Wednesdays, the youth group, and we did a Christmas thing for them. And we come up with ideas. A lot of the ideas of the pack came from my wife. When it comes to things, she loves doing stuff like this.
She started this whole thing by introducing you to the
She
bicycle
started
club.
She started it, and sometimes she regrets it. but she, but I wouldn't have had the backbone that I had in bike life if it wasn't for my wife.
Yep.
And a lot of times she's with me on things, a lot of times she's not with me on things. But when it all comes together, it comes together so perfectly that we never imagined how it would turn out. Like back in 2018 when we started Wolfpack, I could have told you I wouldn't bet that Wolfpack was not going to get big. We could have been as just a small little local group of people just riding around, and we probably wouldn't even be recognized.
How many people are in the club, Damien?
Right now, in the Ipsy chapter, we are 26 members deep.
All right.
Texas is 17,
Mm-hmm.
and Brazil is 40.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
So,
well, if somebody wanted to learn more about the club, right? Somebody wants to just learn who you are and what you do. Maybe they want to become a part of the club. What do they do?
they can find me on Facebook.
All right.
They find the Wolfpack on Facebook. You can also Google us.
Mm-hmm.
Ypsilanti Wolfpack Cruisers with a Z, not an S at the end.
Yeah.
BC, or Bicycle Club. They find me. They message me. Let me know that they want to be a member of the Wolfpack. And I'll tell them exactly what to do. We have a 90-day trial base as a member of a club.
Mm-hmm.
And with that 90-day trial base, you end up having a shirt with your name on it. That's my bike name, D-Dub.
All right.
And then on the back of that shirt, it'll have the Wolfpack logo on it.
All right.
Same logo that is on our patches. You wear that for 90 days. You got to show up at rides. You got to show up at events. You got to help break things down. You got to help build things up.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Once your 90 days are done, then you get your patches.
All right.
You get your patches. When you get your patches, then comes the member dues.
All right.
The member dues are $15 a month.
Okay.
Or $30 per family.
All right.
With those member dues, the member dues are never used for nothing personal. I don't see that money. No one sees that money except our treasurer that has it in the treasurer in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
It goes, if we're going to a out of town ride, if we're like a couple of years ago, we went to Indiana. The member dues will pay for the hotel room and the way to get you out there.
Mm-hmm.
So they paid for the gas to drive out there to Fort Wayne, Indiana. They paid for a weekend room for anybody that went with us.
Mm-hmm.
We had fun time with the Summit Cruisers, and they make sure we get home safe. Now, for the big trip, like OBC, remember dudes will pay for the rooms out in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being so far away, you would have to find a way to get out there.
Sure.
So, some clubs that are going have their own semi trucks to get your bikes out there.
Mm-hmm.
They'll pay like, $150 or $200 per bike. You want your bike out there? This club is carrying bikes, and they post them on our pages too. They carrying bikes for $150, $250. Only thing you need to do is pay them. Bring your bike. Bring your own bubble wrap. Bring your own tie-down straps.
Mm-hmm.
You pay them the money. They'll load your bike up on the truck. You take that flight to Las Vegas. Get to that hotel room and meet up at what they call the launch pad,
Mm-hmm.
where all the pop-up tents are at. All the pop-up tents and banners of whoever club is whose. Get your pop-up tent up there and
Mhm.
banner and everything. Do mingle, mix and mingle. And their truck comes in like pedal ups. Pedal ups truck come in. If you know your bike is on pedal ups truck, they'll let you know. Hey, your bike's here.
Yep. Yep.
Come in, hook up the batteries, and polish it up, and then next thing you know, they're ready to do some rides.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready to take over Las Vegas with the rides, and they literally shut down bikes, shut down the streets.
That's amazing.
The
Man.
bikes will shut down the streets,
Yeah.
and no one give us no hassle.
Yep.
It's a week event. There's bikes, parties, and yes, there is drinking and stuff like that. But it's more getting together and having fun.
For
and
sure.
meeting people for the first time and probably the only time until next year.
Yeah. I get it.
So, it's a fun thing. So when you got Detroit and you got thousands of bikes from all over the Midwest area come together to ride out there, including Wolfpack, you go to Las Vegas, it's about 10, 20 times more than Detroit, because now you got Detroit, you got Las Vegas, you got California, you got Ohio, you got every state in the United States.
All going to Vegas.
All in Las Vegas for this event.
Yeah.
And out of the United States.
Yeah.
All built up in Las Vegas for this event.
That's got to be just a blast, man.
It is a huge blast. It's kind of like a motorcycle Sturgis.
Mm-hmm.
OBC is a bicycle Sturgis, pretty much.
That's awesome.
They have their bike shows and stuff like that. You may win a bike. You may win a bike. One of our members at the time went to Las Vegas. He had to rent a bike from somebody so he could be able to ride. But he entered in. He entered $20 or $30 worth of tickets.
Yep.
And they were calling out tickets and everything for all these different kind of things. He was like, I ain't gonna win. I'm about to head back to the hotel and get ready to pack up and get ready for my flight the next day. Back home. He was walking up the thing, and next thing you know, they called his name. He heard it.
Yeah.
So he went up there to see what he won. He ended up walking out of Las Vegas with a $2,000 or $3,000 electric bike.
Dang.
For free.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
They shipped it to him and everything.
Yeah.
And then he got it here to Ipsy, and he did put his bells and whistles on it and everything. And next thing you know, he's zooming all through Ipsy. People loving it.
I bet he is.
So
Damien, I have to do another interview, so we're going to have to wrap this up.
Okay.
But let me ask you this. If somebody, what you're doing is you're building a community, right?
Exactly.
So one is you've got this community that you built of bikers who are all now a part of the Wolfpack Cruisers. And the Wolfpack Cruisers are serving the bigger community. You're working with the churches. You're working with the neighborhoods. You're helping people
with the
heal.
whole city of Ypsilanti,
Yeah.
Belleville.
Yep. And
Ann
then you've
Arbor.
got the bigger biking community, as evidenced by OBC. So you guys are building layers of community.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody is just out there and they feel like they're disconnected, they feel like they're kind of maybe untethered a little bit, and they need someplace to plug in. It sounds like joining a bicycle club would be a great way to become part of something bigger.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So reaching out to you.
Come join the Wolfpack. Come join the Wolfpack. If you're in the Ypsilanti area and you love riding bikes, come join the come join the Wolfpack. Before we wrap this up, I'm gonna take a bite off of another founder who I look up to from D-Town Riders, Bike Mike. If y'all watching, get off them couches, put down that bag of potato chips and sandwiches, and come get you some of this life. Because if you don't have a bike, you don't have a life.
Drop the mic and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed talking with you, Damien. Thank you for everything you shared, man.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.